What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Money, covering trending topics from local to abroad. Politics, I'm asking the questions: who's fooling who? Sports, from soccer, boxing, and MMA, I cover it all. Monthly motivational talks to inspire you. One thing for sure, I bring the receipts. So like and subscribe to be part of the movement. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Money himself, and we're back at it again with another one. And as promised, I said I will cover the DH 2023 Federal Congress and some very interesting things unfolding there. I like how they're doing some things. I like the speeches. I like everything, and I wanted to cover more specifically the speech of Dr. Mpho Phalatse, some things that you guys might have not picked up there, and some things that you picked up. I want to do a commentary over, and John Steenhuisen, and how it came about that one of them starts and the other one finish. It's some funny business. The DA trying by all means to be fair and square, but that's the DA for you. For me, um, I like how they set up the table and try to, give us the insight on how things have been done and how they run things and how they came about in some decisions and all of that. It was very important. And when it came to the speeches, the main two speeches of the federal leader, or a party leader, if you can call it like that, they decided no, they want to do a coin toss, excuse me, and they said the two leaders met yesterday and they decided on the coin toss. That is very important, because what that tells you is that Mpho did not give an edge to Steenhuisen. Dr. Mpho said, no, why should I start? Why don't you start? Why don't Steenhuisen said, oh no, let's toss a coin. Or someone said, okay, guys, because you guys can't decide who's starting, because you would expect, as Dr. Steenhuisen is the current leader of the DA, you would expect him to speak last. But Mpho dragged him down to a coin toss, and it was amazing to see the gentleman tossing the coin and trying to make this thing as fair as possible. Besides that, I'm going to post that coin toss message now. In fact, let me just do it quickly.
So, delegates, our candidates met yesterday and they have agreed that we will toss a coin in your presence to determine the speaking order. So please come a little bit closer, John and Mpho. Okay, so candidates, you'll see this is the coin we're going to use. This is the Lucky Congress coin. And on this side is a wildebeest. And I'm going to ask you to remember, we're going to call this wildebeest an animal. And then on the other side is the national coat of arms, which we will call coat of arms. So I'm going to flick this, and because we also agreed yesterday it'll be ladies first, Mpho is going to call, and she's either going to call animal when the coin is in the air, not after it's settled on the ground, please, or she'll call coat of arms. Now, if Mpho should call correctly, she will then have the choice whether she speaks first or second. If she calls incorrectly, then John will have that choice. Everybody clear? Yeah. Right. Remember to call now, either animal or coat of arms. Coat of arms. Right, Mpho has called coat of arms. And indeed, it is coat of arms. So Mpho, congrats. You will choose the speaking order. All right, so Mpho has decided she will speak last. That means, John, you will take the podium.
Yes, so for me, that was very funny that in the spirit of fairness, they would go that distance. It reminds me of a particular verbal sport that I'm I'm taking part of, that is battle rap. We do that because we don't want anyone to go. You don't want to go first. You want to hear your opponent go first. Anyway, so For me, that 5 minutes time that they were given was very little. It was extremely little. 5 minutes. I would have given them 10 minutes, and the 10 is also little. But in terms of 10 minutes, you would have had enough time to elaborate and emphasize your points deeply. And I feel like the 5 minutes time was just too small, especially for Dr. Mpho Phalatse, who is a new candidate gunning for this position. She would need more time to convince the DA loyals in terms of voting for her. So I'm going to take out some few things that I highlighted in the speeches, but I'm gonna talk about that. But for the sake of the speeches, if you did not see it, go on their Facebook page. It's and watch it there. On this channel, I'm just gonna post the last 1 minute of each of their speech. In fact, let me post the first 30 seconds and the last 1 minute, so that you guys can hear how they started and how they finished. Let's start with John Steenhuisen, ladies and gentlemen.
Fellow Democrats, Sanibonani, it is an honor to stand with all of you today in Gauteng, the next province to be governed by the DA. And today, I ask you to re-elect me as the leader of our beloved party. Since October 29, we've all been on a journey together. We've been working hard together to rebuild the DA. We've defied our critics, and we is installing a blue government that operates on DA values. Democrats, this is where discipline becomes non-negotiable. And in addition to instilling stronger discipline, we must end the damaging practices of slagging off our own party in public. We must ensure that we adopt a strategic direction, and using world-class research, we must identify the issues that matter most to voters and talk about them. And by making these the issues of our communication, we've already grown our party substantially since 2019. And with your support and your hard work, we will run the strongest, most proactive and issue-based communication campaign that our party has ever seen. Some may say that my vision of the DA's path is ambitious. I say it is realistic. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that we can do all these things. We fixed the DA. Now it's time for us to lead and fix South Africa. Thank you, Democrats.
Okay, so for me, out of 10, I'll give this speech a good 7 out of 10. I think John Steenhuisen could have done better. As the leader of the DA, I think he was just too confident enough. And like most of you guys said on the comment section on the last video I posted about the DA, this is just formalities of just getting this thing out of the way, so that people can see that the formal structure or the formal processes were covered. I don't think his speech was that strong. And I just want to highlight a few things that he said. The first thing that obviously stood out for me is that they want to bring the ANC below 50%. What is interesting about this is that the DA is not committing to a percentage that they want to target for the elections. And this is the place where the DA was supposed to set the tone for the campaigning for the 2024 elections. So for me, it is important that as a DA member, you tell me that, look, last elections we got 20%. These elections we are aiming for 28, we are aiming for 30. You can aim for 30 and know when you fall below 30, maybe 25, it's still a win. It's still an improvement from the last local elections that we had. But the DA is only speaking about that, pulling the ANC below 50%. So they are playing, they are depending on that card that the ANC will come down below 50%, which I think they will. And he started speaking in Afrikaans also. Dat daai wat dit nog John Steenhuisen gemaak het, was baie belangrik, want die Afrikaanse mense wat voor die DA stam, hulle wil hoor dat hulle se taal gaan hulle mense word nog kop toe gevat van die DA. So daai was baie belangrik. Ek was baie trots op hom dat hy het Afrikaans gepraat. That was very important. Anyway, that was now my best Afrikaans shot, guys. You have to give me on the comment section, tell me how good is my Afrikaans out of 10, you know. Don't be greedy, compare it with yours. Anyway, speaking in Afrikaans is very important because DA, I want to say not the core of it, but the spine of the DA is the white people. DA will always be a white party. We must not ignore that, and it is stupid to ignore that. The DA also needed some type of votes from the minority, the white people. So it needs them for the DA to continue getting the funding. It needs a white agenda to continue being the DA. You understand? And he also spoke when he said he's giving 7 promises, 7 commitments. He said he wants to defeat cadre deployment. That's not going to happen. If the DA becomes in power, it's going to employ its own cadres. That only makes sense. You cannot be in power and then you take a cadre from the EFF and you make them the Minister of Health while you are the one who's sitting in the presidential seat. It's not impossible. There is no such thing as destroying cadre deployment. There is such a thing as bad cadre employment because there are some cadres that are not worthy of the work. But in terms of cadre deployment, that will never stop. It's like that in every single country in the world. It's not going to stop. Steenhuisen must take that out of his hand. And and again, like I said, he said the DA must form a new majority in the core that will be taking on the ANC. The DA must be the majority. So they're depending. No one is going to catch us in terms of votes. So should we form a coalition government with other parties, we are going to be the core, the majority of that, so that our candidate can go for president. That is what the DA is saying. I don't want to say, I don't want to bash them in terms of in every metro that they have taken over from the ANC, they have messed it up. There is no metro that they can say, listen, we took Eastern Cape, we took it from here to here, we took Josie from here to here. There is no numbers they can speak about. They took Tshwane, it was worse than what they took when they took it, you know. Auditor General having millions of irregular expenditure under the DA. But anyway, so there is no such thing as the DA going to perform better in metros. They don't have that track record. And I want to break down what is happening in the Western Cape so that you guys can understand why it seems like the DA is doing better in the Western Cape, of which I would break down that how much of the minority they are serving to make Cape Town look good. I'm even saying Cape Town, to make Western Cape look good. And he said another important thing, the DA has to stop the slagging of our party in public spaces. So what that means, you see what happens with the letter that the former president Mbeki wrote to the ANC. That is the slagging that he's talking about. Stop bashing the party, because what Thabo Mbeki did, even though he is in the right, does not help the ANC in terms of their journey for campaigning. Other people will point that out. Other parties will point that out and use that as ammunition. They will say Jacob Zuma is not supporting Cyril. Thabo Mbeki is not supporting Cyril. This Pala issue. So that is what he's talking about, because the thing that is slagging, the slagging that is busy happening around the DA is the racism thing, that they see a race, they claim to be a non-racial party, but racism is a real thing in the party. So he's saying stop that. Let's fix our things internally and let's stop talking about it publicly, because it's not helping our party in terms of growth. And he said, we fixed the DA and now we will fix South Africa. No, my friend. No, my friend. From 2012 until 2021, the last elections, the local elections, the DA has been decreasing in numbers. There's no DA that fixed. There's no one that fixed the DA. It's the ANC that has been destroying itself. Hence, it looked like the DA was coming in. When we talk about the numbers that are on the polls, the numbers that are voting, there's no such thing as the DA has been improving. And we can prove that by just pulling out the statistics of the last three elections that happened in South Africa. The DA has been gradually losing votes, not like the ANC, but you will hear from Dr. Mpho Phalatse's speech that the DA has lost over 1 point something million voters in the past elections. So there is no such thing as the DA. They fixed the DA, now they're fixing. What is helping the DA is that the ANC is self-destructing. It's dying by itself. And Mushima Imane said it nice. I said, we don't even need to attack the ANC anymore. They're doing a great job attacking themselves. So for me, those are the points that I took from John Steenhuisen. Let's quickly check the opening and closing sequence of Dr. Mpho Phalatse.
Fellow Democrats, fellow South Africans, Victor Hugo's phrase that nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come was very prophetic. It's as though he had South Africa and the Democratic Alliance in mind when he uttered that statement. The idea of the DA, of a liberal democratic party governing South Africa has come. Delegates, it is time. We are a party that ascribes to liberal values, and this means we must support and promote free speech, including the right to freedom of choice. As a leader, I will defend the rights of everyone in the party, and I will not lead by fear, because the best form of leadership is leadership by example. I will work closely with our activists and structures such as DA Youth, DA Women's Network, DA Students Organization, as well as other ancillary bodies, empowering them to deliver on their mandate. Public reps, including in rural areas, will have my support. And staff members will enjoy recognition and support as an integral part of the blue machine. Fellow Democrats, we have a stark choice to make, and we can either try to consolidate our base and accept our projected 16% of voter share in 2024, or we can be bold at this Congress and vote for real growth. It is in your hands. I am a Democrat. I believe in our values and principles. I embody what we stand for as a party. I am committed to our cause, and I'm not going anywhere. Vote for me as federal leader. Vote for growth in the DA. Vote for change in South Africa. Viva DA.
Wow, I have to give it to Dr. Mpho Phalatse. For her, I give her exactly 8.5 out of 10 for this speech. It was a beautiful speech. She started very nice. And what I like about her speech versus Dr. Steenhuisen is she used the word I more than Steenhuisen. Steenhuisen used our and we more, which is how he thinks, But now we are running for the same position. I need to tell people that I am the best candidate. I can't keep on using the word we. I need to say you need to vote for me because I did this, I did that, I did that. And Dr. Mpho Phalatse did a very good job in terms of that. Steenhuisen also did a good job in terms of using the word we, the togetherness type of factor going on there. But for me, I would have liked him to be more aggressive and say, guys, I've taken you from here to here. But remember, like I said, the DA does not have conclusive numbers to quote. Otherwise, they will be quoting it. They can't quote anything they did in Tshwane. They can't quote anything they did in Johannesburg. They can't quote anything they did in Mandela. They can't everywhere where they took over from the ANC. They can't quote anything. Otherwise, they will be telling you guys, they will be telling us that, look, we took this from the ANC. Now, all they can quote is the Western Cape. And like I said, I will point some serious things out from the Western Cape that will show you that actually the DA is serving a minority of that province, not the whole majority. But anyway, that's not what we are here to talk about. Mpho Phalatse starts by saying the DA is our time. Our time is now and never. We need to go. She says that the ANC will go below 40%. I'm not sure if she made a mistake. Um, I don't think that's realistic. Like I told you guys, my worst prediction for the ANC is about 45. That's the worst of worst that they can do. I can see them dropping 3%, 4%, maybe 5 will be too much, but it's possible from that 50. And she then spoke about Jacob Zuma. Again, there's no need for you to speak about Jacob Zuma. She said Jacob Zuma, in the term that he was serving, he did nothing. Barack Obama, in the short term that he served, the America did more things than Jacob Zuma. It's not true. Speak to any American, especially Black Americans. They will tell you Barack Obama was one of the worst presidents they ever had. In fact, some of them say Donald Trump was one of the best presidents they have in terms of the economy of the country, the growth of the country. The numbers don't lie when it comes to Donald Trump. He really governed America very well. Dr. Mphalatse spoke about the different positions that she held in terms of the medical field and serving in Alexandra. She was a mayor in Joburg. She did this. Very good. That's what I want to hear. I want you to tell me, why should I vote for you? What is it that is so special about you that I must now cast my vote for you? Remember, what I like about the DA is that from the people that are voting, 45% of them are people that are not in position anywhere, meaning they are not councillors, they're just members of the DA. So they make sure they scatter their voting numbers properly in terms of balancing it, so that not only the leaders can vote, but also an ordinary member can vote also. That is very good. And Mpho Phalatse says, our party needs a new leader. I want to hear words like that, because from Steenhuisen, I would have expected him to say, our party needs consistency, and consistency remains with me. Let's go together. With Mpho, Dr. Mpho, I expected to say, listen, we need a new leader. And she did exactly that. She was very aggressive towards the tail end of her speech. She's saying things like, I will defend the right of everyone in the party. When you say that, automatically we believe that the opposite is true, that the rights of everyone in the party was not defended. Now you saying you're going to defend, you're identifying something, which was very interesting. She says this party needs a leader with moral integrity. Wow, that is very nice that she would say that, because like I said, we take the opposite. That means the current leadership does not have moral integrity. That's why you're saying you're going to bring the moral integrity in. She says, I will not lead in fear. Meaning, oh my goodness, that is very powerful for this woman. Guys, I don't think the ANC has got someone like this. I know EFF has got strong female cadres, very strong, well-spoken. BLF also has got strong women cadres, very interesting. But Mpho, I like Mpho. I like Mpho. I know she's not gonna win. I know she's not gonna win, but I like her. She says public reps from rural areas will have my support. That's what she said. She said, from the rural areas, you guys, the forgotten people, you'll have my support. Because John Steenhuisen will not come to the I don't want to say dungeon now, the gutter of the gutter. You'll not come there. And to his credit, he does travel a lot. But she's saying those people in the rural area, for me, for making that a point in a speech, it means it's a point of concern in the party. So I like that Dr. Mpho Phalatse has attacked the party like that. She said, vote for me, vote for growth. When you vote for me, you vote for growth. And comparing the two speeches, like I said, I would give Mpho the win. John Steenhuisen just flowed nicely. It was not a bad speech, not a good speech either, but Mpho's speech was more powerful. I like the way that she was using the word I more, because like I said, when it's time to fight between two people, we need to know who's the best. And guys, go on the comment section, tell me what do you think, who do you think is the better candidate to lead the DA? Most of you are saying no, it's Steenhuisen. I also say it's Steenhuisen. Right now, I said my reasons are because um the DA still needs a white leader to continue going, and I think it's hurting their numbers in terms of their black numbers, but it's what they need. If they go with a black female leader, I think that will hurt them more than keeping the white leader there. And unfortunately, with the DA, we have to speak about race because of they are very diverse in terms of racial um, numbers in their party. So we have to speak about race. I'm not speaking about it in a negative light and anything, but we have to be realistic. That we have to see color. Like I told you guys last time, poverty does have a color in South Africa, and we cannot ignore that in any way, shape, or form. And the DA has to stop this thing of saying non-racial. There's no such thing as non-racial in South Africa. There are blacks, white, colored, Indian, Khois, and others. You understand? So thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And again, I want to say thank you so much to my sponsor. And today we were trying to do the finalization of the things that I need to start setting up. Probably next week next weekend you guys will see a different everything, a different everything, guys. I'm telling you the things that we are planning, me and my me and my sponsor, my main sponsor. Why not? I'm gonna hold their video here and hold after this whole video. The video is only 17 seconds, guys. Please, if you need engraving, if you need anything that has to do with bags, engraving on clothes, printing for your guest houses, and anything that has to do with big numbers, just call them and ask for a quotation and compare their price to any other person. I'm sure they will make a plan to beat the price that you have. And the quality is very important also. With Why Not, you're getting the top quality. They've got the best machinery in South Africa. They've got the best machinery to compete with anyone in the world. So make sure that you touch them. If you want anything to be printed for your society, for your school, for whatever you can think of, just call them and ask for a quotation. Remember them, and that will help a lot. If you guys also tell them that you saw the advert on my channel, and that will help. That will help a lot, guys. I can't even tell you how much that will help, so that they can also see that there is some type of impact from them sponsoring me. Thank you, guys. It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Money, and we are out.